the third game that I wanted to highlight for this upcoming Week 13 matchup, Falcons versus Saints. Falcons come in at 4-7. Playoff chances pretty much done. They've shown flashes the last couple of weeks since they fired their coach. And the Saints come in as the number 1 seed. They're 9-2. The Taysom Hill experiment is going so far so good as in terms of record. They're 2-0 with Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback. But this is my hot take for this week. I have the Falcons upsetting the Saints. You heard it here. Hard to handle sports. The Falcons will upset the Saints, in my opinion. The Falcons just upset the Raiders 43-6. They're 4-2 with Raheem Morris as their coach. And this is the second game they play the Saints in as many weeks. So because of that, I think the Falcons will upset the Saints. Taysom Hill is not a quality quarterback. All the props in the world to Sean Payton. He's an elite coach. He's a great offensive mind. He's going to go down as one of the best offensive coaches ever. And just the fact that he's 2-0 with Taysom Hill this year, and he was 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater last year as his backup, as their starting quarterback with Drew Brees out, that shows what a great coach he is. That shows, he has a great coaching staff, and he's able to get his players ready. But Taysom Hill he's not a starting quarterback. The eye test doesn't lie. Even when he beat the Falcons 2 weeks ago, we all saw those throws. We saw how badly he underthrew Sanders on that 50-yard go route down the middle. He had to wait for the ball. Let's not kid ourselves, you guys. We could see Taysom Hill. He's a great story. The way he went undrafted, wide receiver, quarterback turned wide receiver, turned gadget player, special teamers, tight end, running back, wide receiver. He's out there blocking punts for touchdowns. He's out there catching passes for touchdown. He's out there throwing passes for touchdown. He's out there running for touchdown. He's a great guy. He's a football player. That's the definition of a football player. Taysom Hill is the definition of a football player. I think every coach would want to have him on a team, but even just seeing him run gadget plays when he's throwing the ball, you could tell that he's not a quarterback. I've seen other wide receivers get put in that situation and throw the ball with the better spiral. The throw just looks better. OBJ, I can remember, I think against the Cowboys this year, he threw a pass. That pass has looked better than the gadget plays that Taysom Hill has done with the Saints. That ball looked crispier off of OBJ's hand. And I've seen other wide receivers do plays like that where they do end arounds and then they throw it. And the ball looks cleaner coming out of their hand than Taysom Hill when he was running his gadget plays too. He would either throw it too low, or he would leave yards on the field because the wide receiver would have to go to the ground or lose his momentum catching the ball instead of just being able to catch the ball and keep running and get yards after the catch. And now during these 2 games that he started, the Falcons, they beat the Falcons pretty bad, but I was not really impressed by that. His running game, no one could deny his running game. He's a tough runner. You put him under center and you use a running back as a blocker, or you just have an extra blocker in your line, and you're going to do good because he runs hard. He's pretty quick. But as a passer, he has a lot to be desired. And now he plays the Falcons twice in 2 weeks, for the second time in 2 weeks. They have film on him. They've played him already. I think they're going to play in Atlanta. So I think it's going to be bad for the Saints. I think it's going to be bad for Taysom Hill. I don't think they're going to be able to score as many points this time. And last week he struggled against the Broncos. I know they blew the Broncos out and they didn't have to put him under center too many times so he could throw the game away. But he had 44 yards rushing, 78 yards passing. If he's a starting level quarterback, I don't care if the other team doesn't have a quarterback, is playing a practice squad player off for the first with no practice as their starting quarterback, you're going to have a better game than 44 yards rushing and 78 yards passing. It was an atrocious game. Both teams looked like they didn't have a quarterback. And I think Matt Ryan has something to prove. Matt Ryan is a former MVP. He is the definition, one of the last few quarterbacks that is a pocket quarterback that is not really that mobile, and his arm is his strength. So Matt Ryan, I feel like he's gonna have a point to prove. He's not gonna get outdueled by Taysom Hill playing quarterback, a tight end playing quarterback, a gadget player playing quarterback. Matt Ryan, the former MVP, has to show up tomorrow. He has to stand up for himself, for his last name. Ryan, you better show up tomorrow. Sunday. You better show up. You better not let me down. You're a former MVP. You can't let a tight end beat you 2 times in 2 weeks. And good things for him. Julio Jones practiced on Friday. He missed his game. He missed the game last week. So hopefully for the Falcons, he's back. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, they should be able to get the job done. Kamara hasn't been playing the last 2 weeks as much. He's played less than 50% of the snaps. He has a foot injury, but he's been playing with it, but they have been cutting his snaps. So we'll see how he does, how he fares. If they use him more, if the Falcons take a lead, or if the Saints are down, will they play him more? We're going to find out. But I do have Matt Ryan balling out, upsetting the Saints, and the Saints lose their number 1 spot in the NFC. I have the Falcons upsetting the Saints 30-21. 30-21.